Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
Many of you probably saw the video yesterday from the courtroom in Las Vegas where a defendant vaulted over the bench and assaulted the judge. So that obviously was probably concerning courtrooms all across the country. This bench is maybe slightly taller than that one. I don't want a piece of glass or anything between me and the parties. I've never had anything happen like that other than the story I related where defendant bit the police officer's ear off, but that was almost 40 years ago. So hopefully we won't have a circumstance like that. My reflexes aren't as fast as they used to be.
Shoot, I forgot my glasses. Just have a seat.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. This is Judge Middleton. Are you Joshua Stephen Driscoll?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Driscoll, I haven't seen you for some time. You're here on a bench warrant arraignment for failing to appear for sentencing on a probation violation on a charge of aggravated assault. The file is 211819FY. Present with me here in the courtroom is Mr. Keith Stickley, our Chief Public Defender. You've actually retained Attorney Frank Stanley from Grand Rapids.
Yes, sir.
That was way last March, I think. Mr. Stanley has filed an appearance in this case. You were charged with assault with intent to do great bodily harm. It was reduced to a charge of aggravated assault. You were placed on probation, and I deferred 13 days of jail. You had a probation violation, and I sentenced you to 31 days, credit 1 day, and you didn't show up for the sentence. And I continued your probation. Let me get that date. I think it was February of 22. So you owe me at least 31 days and you're still on probation. Now, obviously you knew there was a warrant because you hired Mr. Stanley, but he filed an appearance and he didn't do anything else. Yeah, you were supposed to appear at March 4th of 2022 and you never showed up. Sentence subject to review, meaning I could alter it. Anyway, how did you come to get arrested?
Sitting with a friend eating a Frosty.
Where at?
The parking lot there behind Memory Aisle.
When was that?
Friday evening.
Now, your family lived out on Coon Hollow, but you lived on Lincoln Avenue. Where do you live now?
Lincoln Avenue.
How long have you been there?
Since 2019 now, sir.
That's really encouraging for me that I issue a bench warrant. You're at the house you live in and no one bothers to serve the warrant until you get accidentally stopped. But you knew there was a warrant. Are you employed somewhere?
I was supposed to start work today, yes.
Where at?
Walmart.
Well, All right, there really isn't anything to do. You've already been sentenced. Although you'd be subject, I said the sentence was subject to review. I could order the remainder of 365 days, but you just didn't show up for sentencing and then stayed under the radar until you got picked up. What time were you eating this Frosty on Friday night?
I'm not sure. I think it was around 9:30.
All right. Well, I'm gonna set this for sentence. There's no bond. I've ordered 30 days jail, which you didn't do. And I will set a hearing regarding sentence review.
Sir.
Yes?
My kids are all I have, sir.
Where are they?
Else? They're at home with my mom, and she works full time, and my daughter's in band, my son is in basketball.
And you're out on a Friday night in the parking lot behind the stores doing I don't know what. I gave you 30 days jail and I gave you a credit of time to appear and you didn't show up. Thank you, Judge, for your courtesy and letting me appear at a time was convenient. You never showed up. Your problem isn't the 30 days. Your problem is whether you're going to get a whole bunch more. I've already ordered the sentence. This was a felony assault with intent to commit great bodily harm. You continually violated the conditions of your probation. Your probation was revoked, was continued, but I gave you jail. So this is time to pay up. So I will set it for a sentence review and will provide notice to Attorney Frank Stanley. What Mr. Stanley should have done is made arrangements for you to turn yourself in instead of just waiting around to get arrested. You had to be. The good news is, Mr. Driscoll, you don't have this shoe waiting to drop or the proverbial sword of Damocles hanging over your head because you've been arrested. You owe me 30 days minus 4 that you just did, but we're going to see whether there's anything additional. There's no sense to continue this probation. You haven't complied with any of the terms of it. I am discouraged, however, to know that nobody ever got around to arresting you on an open warrant for 1.5 years. I'm going to set this for next Tuesday at 10:30. January 9, 2024 at 10:30. I don't know whether your probation agent's going to file a probation violation petition or we'll just call it good. But this case got a lot of history. Where did you last work?
I was self-employed for a long time, Your Honor. I ran a body shop here in town.
But that's sort of in the past. So I won't get into it anymore until Mr. Stanley is here. Anyway, this is going to be resolved one way or the other, Mr. Driscoll, then you can get on with your life. But this has to be dealt with. All right. I will see you for sentence review. We'll call it January 9th at 10:30. We'll notify your lawyer, Mr. Frank Stanley, and your bond is none. All right, I'll see you then. I don't want a piece of glass or anything between me and the parties. I've never had anything happen like that other than the story I related where a defendant bit the police officer's ear off.